Emerging adulthood. It's a transitional period from when you're an adolescent till you're basically an adult. The age range is usually between 18 and 25 years of age. At this point, experimentation and exploration characterize the emerging adult. Now, many emerging adults will still be investigating their career path, their identity, and the kinds of close relationships that they may or will have or do have. But much is unknown. Now, this guy, Jeffrey Arnett, identified five features of emerging adulthood. These are relatively important, but you're living them, so you'll know them. Identity exploration, especially with love and work and friendship. Emerging adulthood is really a time when significant changes in your identity occur, and you finally, at some point, establish who you are, or at least who you want to be. Instability, well, it goes without saying. Residential changes are peak at this period of time. You're in a college, out of college, on a job, in off a job. There's often instability in your friends, your love life, your work, and certainly your education. Self focus. Emerging adults are self focused in the sense that they have little in the way of social obligations. Manana, do what you want. Little in the way of duties and commitments to others, as
Whoa.
we well know, which leaves them with a great deal of autonomy in running their own lives. The problem is, do they run their own lives? Feeling in between. Many emerging adults consider themselves certainly not a kid or a teenager, and like yourself, some will get belligerent about it. I'm not a kid, I'm an adult, and blah, blah, blah. Uh, but they also don't really feel like a full fledged adult because they cannot really, inside, they know they cannot really manage completely on their own yet. And that's not abnormal. Lastly, the age of possibilities. That's what emerging adulthood is, a time when individuals have an opportunity to transform their life. Like right now, Jack. It describes the authors, Arnett describes two ways in which an emerging adulthood is an age of possibilities. For one, many emerging adults, like yourself, may or may not be optimistic about their future. Hopefully, optimistic. Number two, emerging adults who have experienced difficult times while growing up, well, it presents an opportunity to guide their lives in a more productive direction. This is a time to make changes, the age of possibilities. And of course, emerging adults, lastly, in summary, have more choices. You don't think so, I know. And more control over those choices, and you don't think so. I, I know that. In their daily life. But those choices they make with regard to their life goals have implications for their later well being. You've heard me talk about the bridges and not burning them. Suggest that this time of life really sets the stage for the rest of your life. Eventually, perhaps later than sooner, adults finally, emerging adults, finally grow up.